To the deep end. We're looking at the lineup for the third big global conference all about artificial consciousness. Think of it as the Olympics of minds, but instead of sprints and swimming, we're diving into the really big questions. Can machines be conscious? What does that even mean? And how do we figure it out? The list here is a curated guide for the conference organizers to snag some of the biggest names in the field. Okay, so what's the game plan behind this speaker list? It's not just about picking famous people, it's about making sure the conference covers all the crucial angles. We're talking about the nitty-gritty of machine consciousness, the deep philosophical puzzles, the quest for artificial general intelligence, AGI, which is like AI that can actually think and learn anything, not just one specific task. The brain science side of things, how we build AI that thinks computationally, the ethical minefield, and the rules of the road, the policies. They've handpicked these folks based on their fame and recent work, giving us a snapshot of who's shaping the conversation right now. Each entry gives you the who, what they do, what they might talk about, why they're a big deal, how they might join, and how to reach them. Pretty handy cheat sheet for the planners. Alright, let's kick things off with the first big theme, machine consciousness. This is the area where scientists and engineers are trying to figure out if we can actually build machines that aren't just calculating super fast, but maybe aware? Like, do they have experiences? Do they feel? It's a mind-bending question. The folks on this list are exploring different ways to tackle this, from building actual robots that try to understand themselves, to creating computer models that simulate consciousness. It's like trying to reverse engineer the most complex thing we know, the human mind. First up, we have Igor Alexander, straight out of Imperial College London. He's basically a legend in this field, often called the leader of machine consciousness research. Imagine him as one of the original architects designing blueprints for artificial minds. He didn't just theorize, he got his hands dirty with neural networks, trying to build actual systems that could model consciousness. His talk title, The Engineering Road to Machine Consciousness, tells you exactly what he's about, showing us how to build it, brick by computational brick. Since he's emeritus, he's likely retired, so the conference team might be reaching out for an online report, maybe a pre-recorded video or a detailed written piece. Still, getting his insights would be huge. Next, we travel across the channel to the University of Sussex with Owen Holland. Another giant in the field, especially when it comes to robots. He's not just thinking about abstract consciousness, he's building robots that can develop self-models. Think about it. For a robot to be self-aware, it needs some kind of internal representation of itself, like a little map saying, I am here, I have these parts. Holland is a pioneer in making robots do this, inspired by biology. He was even one of the early guys organizing workshops specifically on machine consciousness. His talk, Building Robots with Self-Models, promises practical insights into how physical machines can start to grasp their own existence. Again, probably an online contribution. Now, let's hop over to Italy and meet Antonio Cella from the University of Palermo. He's another key figure, especially important for bringing consciousness research into Europe. He's not just a theorist, he's a professor of robotics, meaning he's deeply involved in the practical side. He even headed the Journal of Artificial Consciousness. His focus is interesting, multi-agents. Imagine not just one robot, but a group of them interacting, maybe even developing collective awareness. He's known for bridging the gap between neuroscience, how the brain works, and AI, trying to find common ground. His talk, Multi-Agents and Artificial Consciousness, suggests he'll explore how consciousness might emerge from complex interactions, not just isolated systems. Online report expected. Let's fly across the Atlantic to Columbia University in New York City, where we find Hod Lipson. This guy is huge in the robotics world. He runs the Creative Machines Lab, which sounds pretty cool, right? He's famous for developing robots that are self-aware. Now, this isn't sci-fi. It's about robots that can sense their own bodies, understand their capabilities, and even reflect on themselves. Think of a robot that knows, oh, my arm is broken, or I can lift this much weight. Lipson's work pushes the boundaries of robot autonomy and creativity. His talk title, From Imagination to Reality, hints at turning futuristic ideas about self-aware machines into tangible reality. Definitely a must-hear, likely online. Our next stop is Intel Labs, home of Joe Shabak. He's a German cognitive scientist who's tackling the big question head on. Can we simulate human intelligence and consciousness using computers? He's not just tinkering, he's building entire computational architectures, blueprints for artificial minds. His work is considered frontier stuff, pushing the boundaries of what we think AI can achieve. He's particularly interested in how these artificial minds could function, structurally speaking. His presence brings a unique blend of deep theoretical thinking and practical engineering insights. Another likely online contribution. Okay, shifting gears slightly. We've talked about building consciousness, but now let's dive into the philosophy and the science of cognition. This section is all about the big thinkers and the cognitive scientists who help us understand what consciousness is, why it's hard to explain, and how AI fits into the picture of the mind. It's less about building robots and more about understanding the nature of thinking itself, both human and artificial. First up, a true heavyweight in the philosophy of mind, David Chalmers from NYU. If you've ever heard of the hard problem of consciousness, chances are Chalmers is the guy who brought it to the forefront. The easy problems are figuring out how the brain processes information, calculates, etc. The hard problem is why any of that processing feels like something from the inside. Why does seeing red feel like seeing red? Chalmers argues this subjective experience, qualia, is fundamentally difficult to explain. He's a leading voice in exploring how AI relates to this mystery. His talk title, The Hard Problem of Artificial Consciousness, is exactly what you'd expect from him, a deep dive into the toughest questions. Highly anticipated, likely online. Next, we travel to Germany to meet Thomas Metzinger from the University of Mainz. He's another titan in the philosophy of mind, known for his work on neurophilosophy, which connects brain science with philosophy. His big idea is the phenomenal self model, which suggests that our sense of self, our feeling of being a unified entity experiencing the world, arises from a specific kind of brain process. He's not just an academic, he's actively involved in shaping AI ethics policy in Europe. His talk, Phenomenal Self-Model and Artificial Consciousness, will likely explore how this concept applies to AI and raise important ethical questions. Online report expected. Now let's head to Oxford, UK to the Future of Humanity Institute and meet Nick Bostrom. This guy is famous for his work on superintelligence, the idea that AI could eventually surpass human intelligence to an extent we can barely comprehend. He's also a major player in existential risk research, thinking about the long-term consequences of powerful technologies. His work forces us to confront the big picture. What happens if AI gets really smart? His talk, The Philosophy and Future of Superintelligence, promises a strategic look at these profound implications. Given his influence, this is a high-impact session, likely online. From Florida, USA comes Susan Schneider, director of the Center for the Future Mind. She's a philosopher who dives into fascinating territory, the minds of AI, the simulation hypothesis. Are we living in a computer simulation, and the future of intelligence itself? She's the author of Artificial You, which explores personhood and consciousness in non-biological entities. She's also worked on developing ways to test if AI is truly conscious. Her talk, The Boundary Between AI and Consciousness, suggests she'll tackle the tricky question of where AI ends and consciousness begins. Very forward-looking, definitely online. Back to NYU for Ned Block, another philosophy heavyweight. He's known for making crucial distinctions in the philosophy of mind, particularly between two types of consciousness. Access consciousness is about information being available for verbal report, reasoning, and action. Phenomenal consciousness is about the qualitative feel of experience, the what it's like aspect. Block's work helps clarify these concepts, which is vital for understanding AI. His talk, Representation and Phenomenon, will likely explore how these ideas apply to AI and whether machines can have experiences. Essential listening, online format. Let's return to the UK, to the University of Sussex, where we find Andy Clark. He's a big name in cognitive science and philosophy, famous for the extended mind theory. This radical idea suggests that our minds aren't confined to our brains or even our bodies. Instead, thinking extends out into the environment we interact with, tools, technologies, even other people. Clark applies this idea to AI, asking how intelligent machines fit into this extended picture of cognition. He's also done groundbreaking work on predictive processing and embodied AI. His talk promises to rethink where the mind ends and the world begins, especially with AI in the mix. Online report. Now let's head to Italy and Oxford for Luciano Floridi. He's a giant in the field of philosophy of information, essentially the study of information itself. In today's digital age, this is incredibly relevant. He's also a leader in digital ethics and AI governance, figuring out the rules for responsible AI development. His work on information ethics provides a framework for thinking about the moral dimensions of information technologies. His talk, Philosophy of Information and AI Ethics, will bring a unique, high-level perspective, connecting the fundamental nature of information with the ethical challenges of AI. Interestingly, this one is marked suggested offline, perhaps indicating a preference for a live or in-person session if possible. From Cambridge, UK, comes Ho Price, a renowned philosopher who co-founded the Center for the Study of Existential Risk, CSR. This institute focuses on the biggest threats facing humanity, including those potentially posed by advanced AI. Price is a pioneer in thinking about the long-term risks of AI, not just immediate dangers, but existential ones that could reshape or end civilization. His talk, Existential Risks of AI and Philosophical Reflection, will likely offer profound insights into the philosophical underpinnings of these risks and the need for careful consideration. His interdisciplinary background makes him a key voice. Online report. Let's travel to California for Patricia Churchland, often called the mother of neurophilosophy. She's a pioneer who literally helped create the field by bringing rigorous neuroscience into philosophical discussions. She believes that to understand the mind, we must understand the brain. Her work has been incredibly influential in exploring the neural basis of consciousness and even morality. Her talk, Neurophilosophy, From Brain to Artificial Consciousness, will bridge her expertise in brain science with the quest for artificial consciousness. A powerful combination of scientific insight and philosophical depth. Online report. Alright, let's switch gears again. We've explored the philosophy and the potential for consciousness. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the technology itself. This section focuses on the engineers, the algorithm designers, and the researchers pushing the boundaries of AI, particularly towards AGI, artificial general intelligence. This is where we look at the nuts and bolts of deep learning, neural networks, and the grand challenge of building truly general intelligence. First up, we have Yoshua Bengio, a true giant from the University of Montreal and founder of Mila, one of the biggest AI research hubs in the world. He's one of the three fathers of deep learning, along with Geoffrey Hinton and Yann LeCun, and he won the prestigious Turing Award in 2018. Think of deep learning as a way for computers to learn complex patterns from data, mimicking the layered structure of the brain. Bengio's work has been foundational. His talk title, Deep Learning Towards Brain-like Intelligence, suggests he'll discuss how current techniques are inspired by, and perhaps moving towards, the kind of intelligence found in biological brains. A top-tier speaker, likely offline if possible. Next we meet Geoffrey Hinton, another of the three giants of AI, also from the University of Toronto. He's often called the godfather of deep learning himself. He's responsible for key breakthroughs like backpropagation, a fundamental algorithm for training neural networks. His career has seen ups and downs, but he's undeniably a central figure in the AI revolution. His talk, From Perceptron to Deep Networks, promises a historical journey through the evolution of AI, highlighting the key steps that led to today's deep learning revolution. His vision is seen as guiding the future of general AI. Likely an online report. And here's the third giant, Yann LeCun, currently at NYU and also the chief AI scientist at Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. He's the inventor of convolutional neural networks, CNNs, which are the workhorses behind much of modern computer vision, allowing computers to recognize images and videos. He's also known for his work on self-supervised learning, a promising approach to training AI with less labeled data. As the head of AI at Meta, he's at the forefront of applying these technologies at scale. His talk, Autonomous Agents and the Future of Deep Learning, suggests he'll discuss the path towards more independent, goal-driven AI systems, blending cutting-edge research with industry experience. Online report. Let's travel to Switzerland to meet Jürgen Schmidhuber, scientific director at IDSIA. He's another foundational figure, co-inventor of recurrent neural networks and long short-term memory. LSTM networks, which are crucial for processing sequential data like language or time series. He's also known as the modern AI father and has been pursuing the dream of self-improving AI for decades. This is about AI that can learn to improve itself, potentially leading to rapid advancements. His talk, Searching for Self-Improving AI, hints at his lifelong quest to build systems that can evolve their own intelligence. A Visionary Perspective, online report. Now, let's meet Ben Goertzel, chairman of the SingularityNet Foundation and initiator of the OpenCog cognitive architecture. He's a founding figure of the global AGI movement. Back in the early 2000s, he started championing the idea of artificial general intelligence, arguing that we needed to aim for systems capable of general reasoning and learning, not just specialized tasks. He's developed the OpenCog platform, an open-source attempt to build such an AGI. He's also known for his work on the Sophia robot, which he presented as having consciousness. His talk, AGI, Crossing the Singularity, suggests a focus on the transition point where AI becomes vastly more intelligent than humans. A Unique and Influential Voice, online report. From UC Berkeley, we have Stuart Russell, a leading figure in computer science and co-author of the Standard AI textbook. He's become a major voice in AI safety and ethics, especially with his focus on human-compatible AI. His core argument is that we need to design AI systems that are aligned with human values and goals, ensuring they remain beneficial. His talk, Controllable Intelligence, Ensuring AGI Safety, directly addresses the critical issue of keeping future AI systems safe and under control. He's one of the most influential voices in this crucial area. Likely an offline session if possible. Let's head to the UK, to DeepMind, where we find Demis Hassabis. He's the co-founder and CEO of DeepMind, the company famous for AlphaGo, the AI that beat the world champion in the complex game of Go. Hassabis has a unique background, combining a neuroscience PhD with entrepreneurial drive. He's been at the forefront of pushing AI beyond narrow tasks towards more general problem solving. His talk, From AlphaGo to General AI, promises insights into how breakthroughs like AlphaGo inform the broader quest for AGI. As a leader of a major industry player, his perspective is invaluable. Likely an offline session if possible. Now, let's jump to Silicon Valley and meet Sam Altman, former CEO of OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. He's a young prominent figure who played a key role in launching ChatGPT, which dramatically brought the power of large language models to the public. His leadership at OpenAI has shaped the direction of generative AI. His talk, Opportunities and Challenges of AGI, will likely offer insights into the current trajectory of AI development, the societal impact, and the hurdles ahead. As someone who's navigated the explosive growth of AGI, his views are highly anticipated. Online report. Still within OpenAI, we meet Ilya Sutskever, co-founder and chief scientist. He's a key technical brain behind the GPT series of models, including ChatGPT. He has a deep understanding of the underlying technologies, particularly large-scale pre-training models and the transformer architecture that powers them. His talk, The Technical Path to AGI, suggests a deep dive into the engineering challenges and potential solutions on the road to general intelligence. For researchers and engineers, this is gold. Online report. Let's travel to Stanford University for Peter Norvig, a research professor and former director of research at Google. He's another co-author of the classic AI textbook and a veteran of the AI field. He's experienced in areas like search algorithms and machine learning. Norvig is known for mentoring younger researchers, so his talk, The Past and Future of AI Research, is expected to be both informative and inspiring, offering a historical perspective and pointing towards future directions. Great for students and early career researchers. Online report. Next, we have Andrew Ng, adjunct professor at Stanford and a pioneer in making AI education accessible online. He's hugely influential globally in promoting deep learning and building AI talent. He's also had a significant career in industry, including as chief scientist at Baidu. His talk, AI for All, Talent Cultivation in the AGI Era, addresses the massive challenge of preparing society for the age of AGI, focusing on education and workforce development. His perspective bridges academia, industry, and education policy. Online report. Also from Stanford, we meet Fei Li, a leading figure in computer vision, the field of AI that enables computers to interpret and understand visual information. She's famously known as the godmother of AI, partly due to her role in initiating ImageNet, a massive dataset that was crucial for advancing deep learning. She strongly advocates for human-centered AI, emphasizing that AI development should benefit humanity and consider human needs and values. Her talk, From Perception to Cognition, Human-Centered AI, promises to connect technical advances with a humanistic perspective. Highly inspiring, likely offline if possible. Now for a different perspective, let's meet Gary Marcus, emeritus professor from NYU. He's a well-known cognitive scientist, but also a prominent critic of the current state of AI, particularly the hype around deep learning. He argues that current AI lacks common sense and robust reasoning, and he advocates for hybrid approaches that combine learning with symbolic reasoning. His talk, Limits and Exits of AI from a Cognitive Science Perspective, suggests he'll provide a dose of critical realism, highlighting the shortcomings and potential paths forward. A necessary counterpoint, online report. This fast-moving field without stifling innovation. What are the fairness issues? Imagine facial recognition software that doesn't work well for certain ethnicities, or hiring algorithms that discriminate. These aren't just technical glitches, they're ethical and policy failures. This section of the speaker list is all about tackling these big-picture issues, bringing in voices from the tech world, government, academia, and beyond. First up, we have Eric Schmidt. Now, if you've heard anything about Google's rise, chances are you've heard of him. He was the CEO who took Google public and later became the executive chairman. But he's also been deeply involved in shaping national AI strategy, leading the U.S. National Security Commission on AI. His suggested talk title, AI Governance and Safety in a Global Perspective, tells you exactly what he brings: a top-down, strategic view. He understands the political and economic forces driving AI and the need for international cooperation because AI challenges don't respect borders. Imagine trying to solve climate change without global agreement. It's similar for AI risks. His insights would be invaluable for setting the strategic direction. The note suggests an offline talk if possible, which usually means they prefer him physically there, but we'll see how that goes. Next, Kay Firth Butterfield. This name is significant because she holds the distinction of being the world's first Chief AI Ethics Officer, appointed way back in 2014. Think about that role for a second. It signals how seriously organizations started taking AI ethics around that time. She's come from the World Economic Forum, a major global think tank, and now runs her own advisory firm. Her talk, Responsible AI, From Principles to Practice, is exactly what it sounds like. Lots of talk about AI ethics involves lofty principles, but how do you actually do it? How do you translate don't discriminate or be safe into code or company policy? She's lived through developing these frameworks and guiding companies on the ground. It's practical advice for making ethical AI a reality, not just a slogan. Now we move to the international stage with Gabriela Ramos. She's at UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. This is huge. UNESCO is about global standards and cultural heritage. And what she's spearheaded is the UNESCO recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence. Think of it as the first globally recognized standard for AI ethics. It's not legally binding like a treaty, but it carries immense weight and influence, encouraging countries worldwide to adopt ethical principles. Her talk, The Construction of Global AI Ethics Norms, highlights her role as the architect of this effort. She's the go-to person for understanding how to build consensus and create shared ethical guidelines across different cultures and nations. This is about establishing the rules of the road for AI on a planetary scale. Brad Smith, president of Microsoft. Another titan from the tech world. Microsoft is one of the biggest players in the AI game, so Smith's perspective is crucial. His suggested talk, AI Governance from a Tech Giant Perspective, immediately tells us he's coming from inside the arena. Big tech companies have massive resources and influence, but they also face intense scrutiny regarding privacy, security, and societal impact. Smith has consistently spoken out about the need for responsible regulation and cooperative governance. He knows that governments can't just ban AI, they need frameworks that encourage innovation while managing risks. His talk would offer a pragmatic industry-level view on how to navigate this complex landscape. Like Schmidt, An online report is suggested, perhaps reflecting scheduling complexities or preferences. Mira Murati. This name is electrifying in the current AI world. She was the chief technology officer at OpenAI, the company behind the ChatGPT explosion that brought AI to the mainstream. She led the team that launched that groundbreaking model. But here's the kicker. Despite being at the forefront of creating incredibly powerful AI, she strongly emphasized safety and controllability. Her suggested talk, Development Path Ensuring Strong AI Safety and Controllability, reflects this dual focus. She understands the technical challenges of building these systems and the immense responsibility that comes with it. How do you ensure something so powerful stays aligned with human values? How do you control it effectively? Her experience at OpenAI, pushing the boundaries while grappling with safety, makes her a vital voice in this conversation. Mustafa Suleyman, another DeepMind co-founder alongside Demis Hassabis. DeepMind is famous for AlphaGo, the AI that beat the world champion in the complex game of Go. Suleyman is now the CEO of Inflection AI, a company focused on building conversational AI models. But he's not just a builder, he's also a thinker. He wrote a book called The Coming Wave, which specifically tackles the governance of emerging technologies like AI. This combination is fascinating. He's got boots-on-the-ground experience from building AI at DeepMind, and now Inflection. But he's also actively thinking about the rules and regulations needed for the future. His talk title, Surfing the Wave, Future-Oriented AI Governance, suggests a proactive approach, anticipating the changes and preparing governance structures accordingly. Like Schmidt, an offline presence is preferred, highlighting his potential impact. Okay, buckle up for a shift in perspective. Yuval Noah Harari. If you haven't read Sapiens, you probably know someone who has. He's a historian who thinks big, really big. His suggested talk, Reflections on Human Fate in the Age of Intelligence, immediately sets the tone. He doesn't just look at AI as a tool, he sees it as potentially transformative, maybe even revolutionary, for humanity itself. He famously pointed out that AI is the first technology that can make decisions by itself and create ideas. That's a profound statement. It elevates the discussion beyond just algorithms and code to the very trajectory of human civilization. Will AI liberate us, enslave us? Redefine what it means to be human? Harari provides the philosophical and historical lens to understand these existential questions. His presence would undoubtedly provoke deep thought. Helen Toner brings us back to the nuts and bolts of policy, but with a focus on the research behind it. She's at CSET, the Center for Security and Emerging Technology at Georgetown University, a prestigious U.S. university and think tank. Think tanks are crucial because they produce the research that informs policymakers. Toner's role involves analyzing AI safety and policy issues. The key point here is her involvement in drafting U.S. government AI safety reports. This shows a direct link between academic research and actual government action. Her talk, How AI Policy Research Influences Decision-Making, aims to demystify this process. How does a scholar's analysis end up in a national strategy? How do you balance the desire for innovation with the need for safety? She offers insight into the engine room of policy formation. Virginia Dignam is another heavyweight in the field, particularly known for her work in Europe. She's a professor of responsible AI at Umeå University in Sweden and serves as a high-level advisor to the UN. This combination of academic leadership and international advisory role gives her immense credibility. She's deeply involved in integrating ethical principles into AI policy, leading the Responsible AI Policy Lab and writing the book Responsible AI. Her talk title, Responsible AI, From Principles to Policy, echoes Kay Firth Butterfield's, but with a distinct emphasis on the policy implementation side, likely drawing on her European context and UN experience. She represents a key voice in translating ethical ideals into concrete policy actions, especially within frameworks like the EU's GDPR and AI Act. Finally, Joanna Bryson. She's a professor of ethics and technology, bringing together her background in AI and cognitive science with a sharp focus on ethics. She's known for her sometimes controversial, but always thought-provoking views. For instance, she famously argued that AI should not have human rights. Why? Because granting rights to non-sentient entities could detract from protecting actual humans and animals. It's a radical stance that forces us to rethink our assumptions. Despite her provocative style, she's actively involved in shaping policy, contributing to the EU's AI ethics guidelines. Her talk, Embedding Human Values in AI Governance, tackles the fundamental question of how we ensure our values are reflected in the AI systems we build, without falling into naive anthropomorphism or unintended consequences. Her unique blend of technical and ethical rigor makes her a compelling speaker. So, wrapping it up, this list is a fantastic mix of minds. You've got global strategists like Schmidt and Ramos, industry pioneers like Murati and Smith, deep thinkers like Harari and Bryson, and crucial policy connectors like Firth Butterfield, Toner, and Dignam. It covers the ethical dilemmas, the policy frameworks, the safety challenges, and the broader societal implications. Bringing together voices from across the globe and different sectors, tech, academia, international organizations, ensures a truly rich and multifaceted discussion. It's clear the goal is ambitious, to elevate the conference and foster a deep cross-disciplinary dialogue on one of the most profound questions of our time, artificial consciousness.